I am taking the step for Holocaust Memorial Day 2014 by sharing my From Generation to Generation project with you. My name is Gideon Summerfield. I am 18 years old. I am currently studying illustration at Cardiff Metropolitan. My love and passion for art started when I was very young. My parents used to take me to galleries and exhibitions where I'd sit and draw. I also love to draw from the Roald Dahl books, the illustrations by Quentin Blake, who is and will remain a big inspiration of mine. My From Generation to Generation project began at the beginning of last summer. I had a long period of time where I was having fun, seeing friends, relaxing, but my dad thought it'd be a great idea for me to see some Holocaust survivors and meet them as they are in their twilight years. So I had learned about the Holocaust through both my parents and school, so I thought what an amazing opportunity. So I began attending a weekly art class at a centre called Shavata, where I was able to meet and spend time with some survivors. Then I met the survivors at their homes where they would explain their life stories and experiences. At that point I was doing a smaller portrait of them and took a few photographs of them, and at a later date I would do a larger portrait and then come back and add more detail. I decided to use biro for drawing the survivors was because biro is a great medium to add different tones, and also it allows you to work quickly, and the portrait was more of a record of my time spending with the survivors and to record what I experienced and learned into just an art piece, trying to capture a likeness of them and some sort of emotion. I wanted to work with the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust because I know about the amazing support that they give towards the survivors, and also the events that they hold to raise awareness and educate what happened back in the Holocaust. The significance behind the personal objects that each of the survivors are holding was more of another way of showing their journey. Some of the survivors, when I asked them to pick something to hold that was meaningful to them, personal to them, they held a picture or their only picture of their parents or another family member that sadly perished during the Holocaust. Other survivors held something more positive, a picture of the family that they have now, their children, their grandchildren, and even their great-grandchildren. Another survivor, when I asked him, is there anything that you'd like to hold that is personal to you or special to you, he then said, I love my wife, she is special to me, and I thought that was so moving and special that I decided to do a portrait of him and his wife together. In one of my portraits, I drew a survivor who looks like an ordinary person, but the viewer might notice a tattoo on his arm. Now I hope that the viewer would question, what is that tattoo? Where did he get it? And also the hashtag idea, which is more of a modern twist. It was an idea that in their generation they have no idea what a hashtag is. Now in our generation, my generation, it is used so much. I wanted to connect the two generations together just from a simple hashtag. My journey throughout this project has definitely been an emotional one. A few months ago, one of the survivors that I drew passed away. It has really reminded me how precious life is, and to spend it with people who inspire others and have lived a difficult life, but then have come out to make something more of themselves and to be so positive about life and to go out of their way to educate others. I particularly enjoyed drawing Harry and meeting Harry. He was always so happy and he really excited everyone that was around him. Now when people see the portrait that I did of him, they instantly smile and laugh and all happy memories come back to them and they share them with me. I wasn't nervous to show the portraits to the survivors because they're very much my friends at that point, and I was more excited to show them that I wanted to record their lives through my art. And I guess I was so happy that Harry Rosny, who sadly passed away a couple of months ago, saw his portrait, and that memory will always stay in my mind. The smile he was so grateful that I had drawn him, and I was so grateful and honoured and privileged to have met him. As an artist, you tend to really connect with your subject as best as you can, and you do that just through drawing again and again, and you use everything that you've heard and you take it in and then you relay it on paper. There's some sort of connection there. Working with the survivors has definitely been an amazing experience. Not only hearing about their experiences and their life and the pain and struggle that they went through during their teenage years, in contrast with my teenage years, it has really made me appreciate the family I have, the friends I have, and the life I have. And that's why I felt it was so important to draw these survivors as part of their legacy. I started off at the beginning of the project just thinking I would meet some survivors and draw them and present the portraits at the end to the survivors, but it became so much more than that. It was more about creating a relationship with each of them, caring about them, and recording that through a drawing. The survivors' response to their portraits has been so positive. It was so funny to see some of the survivors looking at their friends' portraits and saying to me how much I captured the likeness or their personality or even the emotion. And I guess that was the challenge for me, not only to try and get a likeness but also tell the story behind them. And some of the survivors that I spoke to opened up and told me all about their experiences. The others, especially at the beginning, sort of were reluctant to talk to me about their experiences and the trauma that they went through. Now towards the end, there was one who was very reluctant at the beginning to talk about her life, and as I built a relationship with her, she finally opened up to me, and I wouldn't have thought I would have heard the things I have heard, seen the things I have seen, and met the people I've met, and it has really enriched my life in that way. I really wanted to do the portraits justice, wanted to do the survivors justice in my drawings, and also, yeah, I guess it's just the emotion of that. In a few years' time they won't be there, so there won't be anything left. I won't experience it again, and so all I have left is my memories in my head and these portraits which other people can appreciate.